welcome to the webinar. My name is Scott Armstrong. I'm the CEO of Brenthaven. Great to have you all today, and we're very pleased with the turnout. A couple of operational details before we get started. First of all, if you'd like to pose questions for our speaker, Scott Smith, please do so in the sidebar. We'll do our best to answer those questions at the end of the call, and we're going to try and leave a good 20-30 minutes for the Q&A. As many of you saw in the marketing materials for this event, we are giving out 30 free cases from Brenthaven to the first 30 who signed up. Our customer service team will be following up with you by email over the next few days to let you know, or to determine which product you'd like to try in our K-12 education collection. And do stay on the call till the end. We're going to be doing a drawing for a free tread backpack at the end of the call. Incidentally, this is the same backpack that is deployed at the Mooresville Graded District. So stay on the call, and we'll pick a winner. Lastly, I just want to let you all know it's that planning time for next school year. If you do have any projects and want to talk about your case needs, please contact us at education@brenthaven.com. Education@brenthaven.com. We'd love to work with you. So you're probably wondering, why is Brenthaven doing this webinar series? Well, we've figured out over the 12 years we've been in business or been in the education channel that our success is very much dependent on your success. And we are very passionate about the tech revolution that's happening in schools across the country, schools like yours. We got into the education business back in 2002 when we partnered with Apple on the first state of Maine deployment. And we've been a leading case provider in the education space ever since. And along the way, we've worked with some great partners, partners like Scott Smith, who I'm very excited to introduce you to today. Now, if you don't know this, Scott Smith is like the Michael Jordan of the K-12 digital classroom. Back in fall of 2007, the Mooresville Graded School District in North Carolina crafted a comprehensive strategic plan for creating this digital conversion. The program has become so successful and so well known that they're now hosting a program called the Mooresville Summer Connection every summer and other events throughout the year for educators like you to be able to come and learn about their program and their rollout. Now, Scott Smith has been the leader behind the scenes making it happen all along the way. He has over 16 years experience in the area of educational technology. In 2007, he received his doctorate in curriculum and instruction from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He served as president of NC Ties, which is the North Carolina ISTE affiliate. In 2008, Scott took on the role of CTO for Mooresville Graded Schools, one of the only public school systems in the nation to issue laptops to every child in grades 3 through 12 at that time. Of course, that's changed since 2008. And Scott is here to tell us more about what they've learned along the way create a successful digital conversion. So give us a couple of minutes here, and we'll hand the mic over to Scott Smith.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate it, and thank you all for joining us today. I'll get my screen up here, and I believe you should be able to see the first slide here. And so what I'm going to talk to you today about is launching a successful digital conversion. And Scott, I want to thank you and Brenthaven for the very kind words in the introduction. It's been a complete pleasure to have a partner like Brenthaven to work with and help us through this digital transition. I will say that the support that we've gotten from Brenthaven has been phenomenal. And they've been a partner of ours for many years now, and it really has helped make our one-to-one a success, and especially in terms of protecting our machines and our investment in what we're doing. But what I'm going to speak to you about today is basically what happened here in Mooresville, and what lessons did we learn, and you know, what successes have we seen throughout the year, or the last several years. So first of all, I want to tell you a little bit about Mooresville in general. Mooresville is located in, you can see on the map, just north of Charlotte, North Carolina. We're about 30 miles north of Charlotte. Mooresville is a small town. We are, for North Carolina standards, we are a small district. We have approximately 6,000 students in our district. But nationally speaking, 70% of the districts in the United States are our size or smaller. You can see other information there about our schools. We have 8 schools, about 400 certified staff, 300 non-certified, about 70% white. So for all intents and purposes, we're a very average school district. And you can see our free and reduced numbers, just like everybody's. They started inching up a couple of years ago, and so we're hovering right around, I think this year we're at 40% free and reduced lunch. So we're hovering right around those numbers. So all in all, a very average school district by typical American standards. Several years ago, our superintendent, Dr. Mark Edwards, came to work here in Mooresville with the idea of going digital. And the thought behind this was, how do we meet students where they are instead of having them be forced to power down when they come to school? How can we power up when they come to school? How can we reach them in this environment that they're growing up in? And so we answered a lot of questions in terms of what we were going to do and why we were going to do this. And number one was we wanted to close the digital divide. We knew that we had students who had access to technology, but there were also a large group of students that had no access to technology. So we wanted to close that digital divide. In addition, we wanted to provide relevant instruction. I mean, if you think about it, the school classroom historically looks the same way it did 100 years ago. And we wanted to change that because that's not a model that is replicable in the business world today or what students need. So we wanted to provide relevant instruction for what our students were going to need when they got ready to graduate. That relevancy came across in 21st century readiness. Okay, so what does it mean to be a 21st century student? What does it mean to be a 21st century teacher? And what are the skill sets that those students need when they graduate? Well, they need to be able to think critically. They need to be able to collaborate. They need to be able to communicate. All those things that they needed to be able to do to work in an environment after they graduated high school. We also wanted them to have real-world experience in terms of, you know, when you get out of school, what is this going to look like? How is this going to help you? How have you been better prepared during your K-12 experience? We took a close, hard look at our instructional practice, and we changed a lot of things. This, for us, was called a digital conversion. We did not call it a one-to-one on purpose. The reason was we wanted this to be, we wanted the focus to be on changing the teaching and learning environment and looking at curriculum and instruction and what we need to do to best meet the needs of our students. We did not focus on the device. Now, the device obviously has a very practical